Welcome to Footy Week Podcast, Episode 3, Game Week 22 review of the EPL Barclays Premier League. We had interesting matches that went down, the big six teams in the league, and other teams. No disrespect to other teams though, but there were some interesting matches that we'll be reviewing in this podcast, and I got my co-host with me, Chibuza. What's up? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm fine. As in, this week was just some people's tickets spoiled.
Yeah. Definitely, it's a game of football. But so unfortunate, Udoka won't be joining us today or in this podcast because he's a bit under the weather. He's not feeling too good, but he sends his regards. So we'll be holding the fort for him while he's not with us, and the show has to continue. So quickly, we look at the predictions for last week.
Who got it right?
Who got it right? Who got it wrong? And who's going to be champion for this week?
Who was champion last week?
Udoka for game week 21. He predicted correctly, and his predictions were on the spot. So let's see if his predictions will be on spot this time around, because I had to jot everything down. So Crystal Palace, Arsenal. Udoka said Arsenal was going to win, so that ended a draw. I picked Arsenal winning, and you picked Arsenal winning. So,
are you serious?
Yes.
Because I know that Arsenal always draw with these guys. They always have issues with Crystal Palace. Come on.
So I think we're all on the same points there. Chelsea, Burnley. I think we all predicted the Chelsea win. Leicester City, Southampton. I predicted Leicester City was going to win. Udoka predicted Leicester City was going to win. But unfortunately, you as well predicted Leicester City was going to win. And I think we missed it there. We flunged it. Manchester United, Norwich City. I predicted the Manchester United win. You predicted the Manchester United win. Udoka predicted the Manchester United win. So at the moment, we're all tied. Tottenham Hotspur, Liverpool. Udoka predicted the Liverpool win. I predicted a Tottenham draw. Poor me. Tottenham win. Poor me. I think you predicted a draw or Liverpool is going to win. So both of you got it. Both of you got it right. You got it right. You got it right there. And Manchester City, Aston Villa, Manchester City. I predicted the Manchester City win. You predicted the Manchester City win. Udoka predicted the Manchester City win. So it seems there's a tie for last week's prediction.
I just don't the Arsenal look. Okay.
So yourself and Udoka, your predictions were spot on. And I think I missed out at that Tottenham.
Yeah, boy, it was close, It was close. But we'll talk about it in the review.
Yeah, we will talk about it. So quickly, a rundown for all the results. Like I mentioned, Crystal Palace 1-1. Chelsea 3-0 victory over Burnley. Everton 1-0 over Brighton and Hove Albion at the Goodison Park. Leicester City lost to Southampton. That was strange. Manchester United 4-0 winners over Norwich City. Wolverhampton Wanderers drew 1-1 with Newcastle United. Tottenham Hotspur lost to Liverpool at their new stadium. Sheffield United on Friday won West Ham United. That was like a derby, right?
It
was like a derby. So painful for West Ham United. That last minute goal that VAR took out. Whatever happened to VAR in the EPL? And Manchester City trashed Aston Villa 6-1. 6-1. Wow. 6-1. So we're going to look at Chelsea, Burnley. So what's your take on Chelsea defeating Burnley 3-0? That was an easy victory for Chelsea.
It was an easy victory for Chelsea.
Yeah.
I was a stroll in the park. Like, they just ate them like Indomie.
It was pleased for Van Lampard. He was so happy because Callum Hudson-Odoi scored his first Premier League goal.
Wait, wasn't that the goal that was supposed to be Tammy Abraham's goal that he now tapped in, Abi?
Yeah.
Okay.
He at last he broke the jinx.
He broke the jinx.
And I think it was just an easy 3 points for Chelsea. Burnley didn't come to the party. They were just there because I see Burnley as a team that play organized football as well, organized, efficient football. But I think their away form this season has been so pathetic. Even if they had a couple of runs earlier in the season, but now it seems they are just losing it, losing it over and over again, just losing it. So that was just a pretty 3 points for Chelsea.
Very easy 3 points, yeah.
Jorginho penalty at 27 minutes, Abraham at 38 minutes, and Hudson-Odoi scored at the 49 minutes. Slight beginning of second half, so it was just so easy for them. So we move straight to Manchester United, Norwich City. You're the Manchester United fan here, so what's your take on this? Because Manchester United versus Norwich City, because I felt Norwich City was going to give them problems, but they just took Norwich City apart.
They took them out, man. That midfield, their head was correct, Sha. Their head was just correct in that match. Fred probably most likely played his best game in that match. Matic, since he came back from injury, hasn't been seen making mistakes per se, and then the guys just used their chances when they came. Usually it's not like Manchester United. It's not like, yes, they don't play like the way they used to play over the years, 10 years ago and all that. But then the only thing about football is if you don't use your opportunities, you understand. In the matches where people have called them names, we see a lot of. You don't make a lot of chances, but then you have 3-4 opportunities, and you see Rashford being very selfish about it or miscalculating or and all that.
Yeah.
But in this match, they just used their chances, scored their goal. There was a corner kick. The goal Marshall scored where he was not being marked, and then he was able to score and all that. For me, yes, we are expecting Norwich to put in a fight, comparing it with the way they played Man City and all that. But then, victory went United's way.
Yeah, and it was a lovely goal. The first goal by Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford had his 200th appearance, like 200th appearance for Manchester United, and it was a clinical goal, a lovely assist by Mata. And I think I saw a bit of what Mata brought into the game. He started the first.
Yes. So, why did I forget that point?
Yeah.
We've been complaining, Oga, stop playing. You are playing Lingard, you are playing Pereira every time as 10 or as the guy linking the midfield. And there's been Mata there, and he doesn't play Mata, and then he plays Mata in this match, and Mata, showed himself. I think Mata's experience, you can't compare Mata's experience with Lingard. Mata is no longer as fast as he used to be, but then he has that intelligence, he has that judgment, as not in kind of situation where a Lingard will get lost or a Pereira will just vanish and just go into thin air. But like you said, that Mata's play yesterday was vital to me, was very, very vital. And I don't know what will happen if Ole now goes on to play the remaining matches and then benches him without him having injuries. I think people are going to just scream. You understand? So, but I agree with you. Mata was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was, and Marcus Rashford as well.
Yeah.
A brilliant performance. His 200 appearance for Manchester United, scoring a brace. Do you see Marcus Rashford turning into a legend with this performances that he gives? Because this season thus far he has proven, or he has shown himself to be a player that you can call upon at the right time. Because at the time when Manchester United were just axing all the big C's, Tottenham, Manchester City defeated Chelsea as well. Marcus Rashford has stood up, and he has shown that he's a striker to call upon. He scored against Tottenham, right? He scored
I
against
remember.
Manchester City.
Scored against Manchester City.
Yeah, so and his performance over the weekend
But
was
when you
phenomenal.
mean club legend, are you saying because I think the era of club legends are maybe are you saying a one club legend?
Yeah, one
Because
club legend. More like
I
the
don't
likes of
know. I
Cristiano
don't.
Ronaldo, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham. Do you see him in that mold? Because for
So
his age, at his age, just a little bit of stats at his age for his 200 game, he's in the history. He has joined the history books of Manchester United players that has played at the age of 22 years old. The likes of Bobby Charlton, Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ryan Giggs, George Best, and you have the name of Marcus Rashford in there. Do you see him turning out to be a Manchester United legend?
I don't know. It was quite easy making that judgment when it was Rooney's regime or Rooney's playing time. I don't know. I'm looking at his stats. 41 goals,
Yep.
um, 133 matches in the Premiership. I think it should be more than that for all club. But if it's about goals, I don't think he'd go that far. But as a player who has played, probably if you can divide legends into three tiers,
Okay.
maybe second tier based on how long he has stayed, based on memories. But the top tier is still you still have the Rooney's there, we have the Giggs there. I, he doesn't have that performance. He doesn't have that start. He doesn't have that what do I call it now? Will I call it history, or will I call it his footprint? I don't think his footprint will be as much as those guys, but maybe second tier or third tier, fine. But his way, I think we can say he'll be better. He could be better than a Luis Saha,
Come on, why would you compare
a
Rashford to Louis Zaha? Come on, man. Come on. You need to give him his
well,
props, man. For me,
no,
two,
I was
two,
trying to.
200 appearance, 41. You said 41
But
goals.
no, that's 200 appearances all Man U, 133 in the Premiership,
That's what I'm saying.
133.
So how many goals in total?
41 goals in the Premiership. I don't have his total round goals. I don't have it here, but let me just check. Total goals. I think he has scored. No. I think he has scored. Looking like 64 here.
Well,
Yes, 64.
in all,
200 goals, 64 matches, and 31 assists.
that's for a 22-year-old. Come on.
Man,
In
but you are right. You are right, too, because that guy at 22, that means he has been playing a lot of games. Oh,
Yes, he has. He
30,
has.
133 Premier League matches. That's like divided by 38. That's like three. That's like 4
4
seasons.
seasons, yeah. He came into limelight four seasons ago.
That's 4 seasons. Oh.
Yeah.
And that
So,
was wow. I get your point now. I get your point. If he doesn't, the thing about football, he doesn't get an injury, or he doesn't. If he just improves himself, if he keeps improving himself, I think before he gets to 26, he should hit 100 goals.
well, the world is his oysters because I feel he's going to. If Man United get their acts right, sign better players, I feel Rashford will come out as a star and do what he's supposed to do, score goals, and probably be that go-to guy in Manchester United compared to the
But
days of.
then, but then also his future, such a future lies in his hands one, and then the kind of coaches that come. So for now, we have an Ole and all that. Who knows tomorrow? Man U signs somebody that'll just put him on the bench forever. So
Still early
something we
days,
can't.
huh?
Yeah, something we
Okay,
can't
still early
predict.
days. Okay. Moving on to the next game. Leicester City at home at the King Power Stadium,
Hmm.
losing to Southampton. Did you see that coming? Because I never saw that coming.
I never saw that coming. Oh.
And and
And like
it,
you said the match well. Oh.
yeah, they started the
You
match
said the
well.
match well.
They started because would you blame it on fatigue?
I can no. I can. But then if you want to bring it off, I think other guys play the same matches with them now. Even the people that won them play the same matches with them. So it's not like there's a Champions League, where Champions League teams have their own fatigue and all that. Other guys had their own. The other guys had their own Christmas matches, New Year matches. So I don't think it's fatigue. I don't think it's fatigue.
Impressive for Southampton. Out of 9 games, they've won 6 games, racking 18 points. And imagine they are tied on the same point with Arsenal. They're on the same point with Arsenal, Everton, and also they've been able to escape relegation because their performance in their last 9 games have been so impressive. Because going to King Power Stadium and making 3 points is something you need to.
Is a Herculean task.
Yeah, it is. And would you blame it on Wilfred Ndidi's absence?
I can. It's possible. Because they were just, when the match started, they had this goal they almost scored that was first saved by the keeper, and then it was like a tussle and all that. So I can put it. I can. All of these things add up.
Because I think the signs were there at the EFL.
The signs was
at the EFL, the previous match before they played Southampton, EFL Cup, the semi-final, the first leg, because they struggled. They struggled against Aston Villa. Aston Villa scored first, and the changes, the tweaks he made in the second half brought a bit of stability. Vardy was there, but he didn't come to the party, even over the weekend, because the signs were there in the previous match, and they couldn't just up the ante in this last match, in the last match against Southampton. And well, big up for Southampton because trying to escape that relegation
zone
is what is really their paramount task right now because they don't want to go down. And having that point,
they have 14. They are 7 points of the relegation zone.
Yep.
Aston Villa have 21 points and they have 28 points, and they have the same. They have, oh my God, they have the same points with Everton and Arsenal.
Arsenal, yes. Wow. And Danny Ings have been on a very, very good form, scoring goals, and wow. So what's this loss to Leicester City? How does it affect their chances of trying to nick that second position from Manchester City?
They've already been overtaken by Man City, and then it now depends on how their remaining matches. Yes, it's still match week 22, and that's like how many matches left? 16 matches. So they should just play. I think they should just play. Take every match as it comes, because right now I'm looking at the last 5 matches. In the last 5 matches, they've lost 3.
Yeah.
The last 5 matches, so it looks like their form is dipping. After that high they got, their form is somehow dipping. They're losing 2 matches back to back, and it's not. So they just have to just pick. They have to not really diminishing returns, like you said. It is not here. Vardy has been out of games for like 2 games, 2-3 games. So it's up to them. They shouldn't just feel so crestfallen because of this match. Kind of just take heart, face the upcoming games. Hopefully Ndidi comes back. Now is the time for what's his name, their coach, to find a way to just find a way to get a system or a player or something to reduce the effect of the absence of these players. They are not a Man City that has a lot of options, but then they should just take the games as it comes. Man City now is on a roll now. yes, they lost their last match. Yeah, goalkeeper messed up, this and that and all that. But then, Man City now, once they've won this match now, they just start winning. So Leicester City should just try their best to just keep up the pace, because Chelsea is right under them with a 6-point difference.
Yeah.
So they can still go to the Champions League next year if they just keep it up, because the battle is between them and Chelsea. And Chelsea is still, so they have to lose like 2 matches for Chelsea to catch up with them. And also Chelsea looks like coming back, because apart from Liverpool having it all good, I'm looking at last 5 games. Liverpool have won their last 5 games. The second best in that regard is Man City.
Yeah.
But the other guys, they've been losing. Man U has lost 25. Chelsea has lost 1, drawn 1. Leicester have lost 3. Sheffield have lost 2 and drawn 1. So only Liverpool is having a ride. Everybody is just trying their best. I just think Leicester City should just keep trying their best.
So looking at the first leg, that trashing that Southampton got at at their stadium, 9-0 trashing from Leicester City.
Trash.
So for me, I'll call this as, this win is so perfect. It's a script that nobody saw. So it's like revenge is the dish best served cold, because Southampton, I'm sure they would have come into this match psychologically
with
having that 9-0 trashing at the first leg
at the back of
their mind, and I'm sure that was what got them pumped. Like, hey, no, we ain't gonna let our backs down here again. We'll not let these guys come and just run over us. We're going to give in our best, put in everything, walk our socks off, and try to nick a point. But luckily for them, they got the 3 points. So it's just a perfect script, Revenge is a dish best served cold, and they had their 3 points, and they're tied with Arsenal and Everton.
Wow.
So who knows what next? Who knows what next? This is what makes football so interesting. So before we move on to the next, I would just like to, just share our social media platforms for podcast listeners. So this is Footy Week Podcast episode 3. We're on social media platforms. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We'd like to thank all our new subscribers, and we want more subscribers as well. So on Instagram, our handle is @FootyWit, and on Twitter, our handle is @Footy_Wit, and on YouTube, Footy Wit Analysis. Please like our videos. It gives us more visibility on YouTube. You could not just only watch, we would also employ that you like our videos and just help us share the gospel of football. Thank you very much. So moving on to the next match. Let's just talk about Man City Aston Villa. The match was played today. It was just a roller coaster for Manchester City, because after seeing Leicester City drop points yesterday, it was like a motivation to them to see that they pick up 3 points today, just to keep that gap still at 14 points. Yeah, even if Liverpool has a match at hand. So right now they've overtaken Leicester City on the table.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
They trashed Aston Villa 6-1 today at the Villa Park. Aguero scoring his 12th hat-trick to become the highest overseas goal scorer in the Premier League history. This is another record set here. So how do you see Man City? Can they do what they did last season? Catch up with Liverpool? How would you rate their performance today against Aston Villa?
Their performance today was expected now. Like, I don't think we're expecting Aston Villa to defeat them. They just played like they just played. The guy Pep just brought all his guns out for this match. He didn't want to take chances, especially what happened the last match. To take over the top position from Liverpool, I can't predict. I can't really predict, because there's one match we're still going to talk about, and the way that match ended shows shows that Liverpool's mentality this season is different. Over the years, Liverpool used to be the Robin Hood, but now Man U is now the Robin Hood, and Liverpool now is they take their points and they close everything. They close it
Everything
up.
needs to be closed.
They closed everything up. So with that attitude, that is the winners, champions mentality. You cannot go and be conceding goals, or if it's a 1-0 that you are supposed to use to win the game, or just close it. That used to be Mourinho style, you understand? So on that premise, I don't see. It's quite unlikely. It's quite unlikely. If it ever happens, then that means it was that script has not been written, because the way they are playing now, they are playing so winning games with slim margins.
Well, let's
I don't see
just skip Liverpool's narrative to when we're supposed to talk about them, and let's still concentrate on Manchester City. For me, Aguero joining the likes of Alan Shearer, Wayne Rooney, and Andy Cole. Those three guys are still ahead of him in terms of Premier League highest goal scorer. In terms of, do you see Aguero? Aguero should be 31, 32 his age right now. How many seasons do you see him still has left in him to play for Man City?
Because it's Pep. One season.
So you think Pep would offload him next season?
Pep might offload him next season, or he just stay next season and that's it.
Is it because Man City's got Jesus?
Yes. Now there's talk that what's his name? Pep doesn't really like Aguero. Yes, Aguero gets the goals, and we saw it a lot. It's just like, would I say God has been on the side of Aguero? So I remember then when the competition was hot between him and Jesus, and then people were like, "Why are you bringing Jesus when you have an Aguero?" And then he feels a Jesus. Jesus doesn't score like 2-3 games, and then he brings an Aguero, and Aguero scores. And then Jesus went on injury spells, and then Aguero kept scoring and scoring. So I think Aguero's time, because it is Pep. Probably if it was any other coach or any other manager, man, why are you changing? What Aguero is your guy. Although he also has his own injury spells, which is also a thing of concern, because age, and he's getting injured. So that would be another reason for Pep, to get another striker. But then I think Aguero has been playing the way Pep wants his strikers to play. You drop deep, you play in the spaces, all those things. Pep doesn't really like having a point man or a target man, or a lone striker and all that. So he has been playing that well. So it's just a thing of preference. And then we know Pep, whatever Pep doesn't like, he finds a way to dispose.
Find a way to discard, like control, delete. But or when that time comes and he wants to discard Aguero, I think other Premier League League teams, their tails will be up, man. Like, they'll be ready to.
There's a caveat. Argentine players have one very, very funny mentality. You just go to Boca Juniors.
Well, true though. Those guys, they're unpredictable.
You just go to Boca Juniors, just like what's his name, Tevez. Tevez played so well in Juventus, and boom. It wasn't like he was found wanting. It wasn't like he played a very good season, and then he went to Boca. He went to back to Argentina. So Argentine players, especially, they behave in that way, and it just depends on how anglicized, or how English transformed, or how EPL comfortable Aguero is, because I think it doesn't make sense. Even if Pep doesn't want it, he can go to another team and just play and collect salary and retire and be like what's his name? His South American brother. What's his name? Sanchez, yeah.
That one is just collecting salary up and down. Problems mounting up for Aston Villa. The loss has seen them drop into the relegation zone with 21 points
to
After
1 point.
22 games, where do we see Aston Villa go from here?
The teams above them, the teams above them play better than them. There's Watford, there's Burnley, there's Brighton, there's Newcastle, there's Southampton. So it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not really going to be easy. Norwich is far, far down, 14 points. Bournemouth and Villa, 21, 20 points. The guys above them, yeah. So I think that fight for that relegation goes way up to Southampton. It
Yes,
goes way up to Southampton because let's just give respect to Arsenal and Everton. We give respect to Arsenal and Everton. It goes all up to 12th. And maybe probably in the next 10 games or in the next 8 or 7 games, everything we will now know the people who are sure for relegation. At least 2 people will be sure for relegation. But for now, Aston Villa, all the guys ahead of them, they are candidates for
the
relegation.
relegation battle is going to be a scrap. It's going to be really tough. And for Aston Villa, they need to up their games and all the other teams there. Even if, because the point difference from the 10th position up until that 18 points position is just 7 points. So that's 2 games. You lose 2
That's 2
games,
games. Lose 2 games, you drop.
you see yourself battling in there. And the Premiership this season, wow, I wouldn't call it one of the most competitive seasons because we have just one team flying above every other. It's just Liverpool and the rest. And but deep down from the 10th position to the last position, the points difference, it's beginning to look like Nigerian League, and MPFL.
Yeah, MPFL.
Because when the team in the number 3 position loses, you see him battling
Go
it,
down.
go down straight, man. So it is really going to be a scrap this season. We see that. So moving on to the next game, Crystal Palace versus Arsenal, London
Ah,
derby, South London versus North London. This game had a lot of controversies, but let's talk about the football first.
mm,
Arsenal came out all pumped, dominated possession. They smelt the blood, but they couldn't go for the kill because
they
they
didn't eat the meat.
they had a lot of chances in that first half to have gone ahead, far ahead from Crystal Palace and making it difficult for Crystal Palace to even think of coming back in that match. Brilliant goal from the Arsenal. 18 touches before that ball went into the back of the net. We saw the typical Arsenal touch, one goal before the ball is in the box sitting and boom, Aubameyang was there to finish it up. So what's your take on that match, the first half of that match? Let's start with the first
I
half
quite,
of
quite,
that match.
I quite agree with you, and it still goes back to what I said. What I said about football is about taking your chances. The less chances you take. So football is about you create your chances. So there are teams that don't create chances. Some other teams create chances. So you now create chances. You have to convert your chances because you don't know what will happen. Your players may get tired. You might get a red card, or you might get injuries. And all that. So, like you said, I quite agree with you. They should have killed the game. They should have killed the game. Kill that game first half. Kill that game. Don't waste time. Get your chance. Score your goals. You understand? See, look at Man City and the rest. And Man U. Get your goals. Get your 3 goals. Because it's not like you're playing against a team that was playing negative football and packing the balls throughout the game. You understand?
Because Arsenal is beginning to look like a team of 2 halves. The previous match, they were shambolic in
the match against Chelsea.
No, in the FA Cup against Leeds United.
Oh yeah, against Leeds United.
Shambolic in the first half. Came back in the second half. They were all pumped up with their tails in between their legs, ready to run Leeds United ragged, which they did. They scored eventually. They won the game. Now coming to Crystal Palace, first half they were brilliant. Second half, yeah, kind of like let the dominance slip off from them, and Crystal Palace were all over them. they lost concentration where that free kick was
You know,
supposed
these
to
are
be.
these are the kind of games where you tell your team, guys, give me an early goal. We just go all out this first half, because you're always having tussles with Crystal Palace. You're always tussling with Crystal Palace. You understand? So go there, guys. Go give me a win. But then how do we get this win, guys? This first half, be all over them. Let's get 2 goals. Let's just wrap this game up. You understand? Before you start hearing stories that touch in second half.
It was disappointing. It was because for me that game was not 1 point gain, but it was 2 points. 2 points lost for Arsenal. And talking about, let's now go into the controversial part of the match. Aubameyang getting his first red card in his entire career. Did you see that tackle worthy to be a red card?
So I think there was a similar. Let me twist this thing.
Yeah.
So there was a similar incident. There's a similar incident. I can't remember. I think you were the one that talked about it. There's a similar incident where in this match week, and the guy didn't get a card, but Aubameyang got the card.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
The tackle by McCarthy.
I think so.
The tackle by McCarthy on the Martinelli. Because really there was no for me, inconsistency, like we say, concerning the EPL referees, because you tend to see some decisions that are being made because you were in charge of that match, you saw the tackle, you gave a yellow card already, and you had to wait for VAR to check or run a check again, because ideally, yes, Aubameyang caught his Meyer's ankle. We caught it because the attempt is what really matters. He wasn't really going in there to take him out or get him injured. He went for a tackle. He lunged, and his leg clipped his ankle. And Crystal Palace bench, they made a meal out of it. Everybody screamed. I think that was what forced the referee to have to consult VAR to look at it. Because in the game, you could see Pepe, Aubameyang, Martinez, they had 2 fouls and they had 2 yellow cards in that match. But meanwhile, Pepe had a yellow card, Maitland had a yellow card, Aubameyang had a red card. And both, the 3 of them, had 2 fouls in the entirety of that match. But Andrew Ayew had 7 fouls.
7 fouls,
Yes.
Yeah, that was what I remember.
And
7 fouls.
He didn't. It wasn't given a yellow card. So, because for me, it's. I feel the officiating of this season or this season thus far has not been consistent, and some teams have suffered, and some teams have gained for the inconsistency. Even the red card didn't change the game, though. It didn't change the dynamics of the game, though, because Arsenal still were the team that looked like getting the whole 3 points, even with 1 man down. They could have scored towards the end of the game. A clear chance missed by Lacazette after Pepe's ball ricocheted off the goalkeeper and it hit the sidebar, came back to Lacazette, and Lacazette played it back into the hands of the goalkeeper. They still showed dominance. Yeah, Arsenal still showed dominance. If it were the Arsenal under Unai Emery going 1 man down, I think they would have capitulated and Crystal Palace would have taken the game. But the interesting thing to see in this match was Arsenal became difficult to beat even while they went 1 man down. Because
that's very rare. You remember even it was so bad. I think in our podcast and all that we've been talking about Arsenal's mentality or what Arteta is bringing to the table. We've watched a match where Arsenal's opponents had a goal where Arsenal was a goal down. Their opponents had a red card and they couldn't win.
Yes. That was in
That's
the
Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid. Oh yeah, 2 seasons.
You understand?
Uh, uh, two
You
seasons
understand?
ago. Yeah.
So I'm seeing improvements. I'm seeing improvements. I think the Aubameyang tackle, I don't think he was going for the leg. I don't think he was
It
going
was
for
a
the leg.
misplaced tackle.
It was a misplaced tackle. But well, VAR decided, and looks like now VAR. I don't know whether it's now making refs to be complacent, because I was expecting the ref to see it. Why didn't he see it? What was he looking at?
He saw the
Was he
tackle.
angry?
He saw the tackle. He gave a yellow card already, and the tackle was close to the bench of to the reserve to
Touchline,
the
yeah.
touchline to the reserve area where Crystal Palace team was, and footballers, come on, they will.
Normal. That's a normal.
And
Normal.
that was what prompted the referee to consult VAR. And talking about VAR, come on, VAR, like we've talked about VAR in our previous podcast, and we talked
But
about.
another thing about VAR, I think if the VAR says that the card was for dangerous play, then it doesn't matter what his intention was, because that's the difference between a human being on the pitch making a decision, and then looking at it in the camera. So probably they've looked at it in the camera and zoom here, zoom here. That is no more about what he tried to do, but then they are seeing the impact, and how his leg didn't go for the ball. Yeah, he missed the ball. So it now looks like it's dangerous play. So
But like I said, such decisions
for me, it's just the inconsistency. You understand?
of VAR, yeah,
How can somebody do 7 fouls and not get a card?
and not get a
in the
card,
match?
because come on,
Was it his spirit?
it's
It was not his
just
spirit
to.
now. You get, and if it was tagged as a foul and in the statistics as a foul, then it's a foul.
Yep.
So it's not about whether it was a yellow card kind of foul or a red card kind of foul. Foul is a foul.
Well, because Aubameyang stated after the match that it wasn't a malicious tackle, but he hopes Max Meyer didn't get injured, and he took it in the chin. He just took it as a man and decided. So we're waiting for the decision. It's going to be a 3 straight match. It's going to be a 3 straight match to miss. And Ateta even spoke about it in his press conference after the match, and he took the decision. He just didn't want to say much about it. But let me just segue a bit here, talking about VAR, because an interesting statistics came out from ESPN talking about where the Premier League would have been with or without VAR. So the interesting one was without VAR. Can you imagine? Liverpool's lead over Man City was slashed in half from 14 points to 7. Only Norwich was affected by VAR than City. And Arsenal and West Ham get biggest climbs in terms of points that have been cut off by VAR. If VAR were in there, they would have had those points. And Southampton suffer most in points and places. So looking at the table, it's so interesting because Liverpool without VAR 56 points, Manchester City 49 points, Leicester City 42, and Arsenal had to climb from 10th to 7th, having 30 points, and Norwich going down, and would this be safe to say that VAR will still be needed next season?
They just need to improve. I don't know. Go back to do analysis. Look at what people are saying. Because it's just user experience. Football is entertainment. People come to watch football. Let's not forget. People come to watch football. The moment people start saying, this league is rigged or whatever, you see your views start dropping. So you should look at the user experience. Come from a point. It's not that we are the EPL, we are the FA, we are the association, and you must let them come and just look at the user experience. How can they make it better? Just make it better, because these complaints are not coming from other leagues. Complaints are not coming from other leagues.
Yeah, true.
And those leagues even had VAR before the EPL. Yeah. So they're not coming from other. So they just need to be truthful and honest with themselves, and then because if VAR is consistent, people will, there's difference between, we saw in the female World Cup, we saw the VAR, we saw some controversies, but the EPLs is just too out, it's too glaring and the shock is so much. You understand? There can be some inconsistency here and there, once in a while, but it's like every week there's a VAR issue every week. So I think they should just go back, analyze it and come up with a better thing. Bring that camera down. Bring the video down. Let the ref go and check it himself. You understand?
Yeah. I think with those modifications, next season will be far better compared to this season and compared to how the season had already gone. But still on the Crystal Palace versus Arsenal, we could see some positives from Arsenal, because even if they had to let Arteta down, but we could see what Arteta is bringing into the team. And like I said in our previous podcast, if he's got the right personnel, I think Arsenal will be a very difficult team to beat, and I see them contending for the Premiership this season. That's if the board decides to buy the type of players that would execute Arteta's plan. Because seeing that match over the weekend, Aubameyang being sent off in the 64th minute, it's like, oh, here we go again. This is the regular thing. This is the normal Arsenal that we always see. They will capitulate. There is no way for them to win this match or go home with a point. But we saw how tactical Arteta was, taking out Ozil and bringing in Martinelli, because I was even thinking he was going to bring in another central midfielder to show up wherever attack the Crystal Palace were bringing in. But he brought in an attacker, and that changed the dynamics of the game. Arsenal even had more opportunities compared to Crystal Palace. Like I mentioned before, Pepe hitting the crossbar, hitting the sidebar, and Arteta, Lacazette, that was a sitter. He should have scored that game.
That goal.
All has been said and done. From here, where do you see Arsenal?
I see Arsenal improving.
The 16 games left in the season.
Improving. I was watching a video recently of the changes, visible changes. So there's a way, and Arteta is I think he's a very smart guy. He didn't just come to just copy and paste what's happening in Man City. So Man City play 4-3-3, but he's playing a 4-2-3-1, and then he does this thing where when the ball is, when in order to get more guys up front, Kolasinac overlaps.
Yep. Then
Granit Xhaka comes to form a 3-man defense, and then Maitland-Niles joins the midfield. So it becomes like a 3-2-4-1.
Yeah.
So that is similar to what Man City does, to where you see Fernandinho or the DMF coming to join the midfield defense, and then the two fullbacks going up front. Or sometimes what he does is the two fullbacks come to the center, just in front of the three guys in the defense, and then the other guys up front, so it becomes a 3-2, probably a 3-2-1-4 or something. So he's that's shape changing of your shape during play. You understand? Not all teams do that. Some teams just have, okay, when we're attacking, we have this shape. When we're defending, we have this shape. But then that shape, we saw a case where we said Pepe was always alone, and Pepe was always being bullied off the ball and all that. All of these things are just adding up. Tactically, Arteta makes sense. Tactically, Arteta knows something. He might not have experience, big match experience, blah blah blah, but he's going to get it. But then Arteta is not a pushover. Arteta knows something, or some things, doesn't know everything. You understand? So I see Arsenal improving. This is for me, you would start seeing that improvement from, next season.
But the top four is a hard one to get. It's a hard one
Yeah.
to get. The top four is a hard one to get.
The top four now is you just have to be extremely good. Extremely good. You understand? So
because looking at Chelsea, Chelsea is going to take.
For me, I'm seeing a Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal. If all the plans work, if all he gets the player he needs.
That's a tough one. I'm not gonna back you up with that. I'm not gonna back you.
I'm not seeing so much promise in Man U, and then Leicester City. Who knows? We don't know. So it's still top 6, but then where Arsenal is now is not where they're going to be next season.
That's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. Now moving straight, talking about Liverpool.
Wow, that match.
It hurts me.
That match.
It hurts me, man.
I think I give it up to Mourinho. Mourinho's tactics was on point. Just needed to score.
But they lost the game.
Yeah, they lost the game, fine, but his tactics was on point. So, everybody was talking about how he was bringing in the 20-year-old, right? The Tanganga guy.
Yeah, the Tanganga, yeah.
And the guy played a good game. He was fast because, Mourinho, people were like, why are you taking off? What was his name? Is it Adewere? I think it's
it's the other
Vertonghen. So he's playing against a three-man attacking front. Mane, Salah, Firmino. And then he goes for a back three. He cannot go for a back three and then have so much of traditional centre backs there. He needs, because when you play back three, when the ball goes to the sides, those guys have to be mobile. The guys are the two edges of that three defense. They have to move, and Tanganga is fast. According to Mourinho, said Tanganga is fast, and we saw it. The guy is fast. You understand? And then what did Mourinho do? Let me tell you what Mourinho did. So when Liverpool plays, Trent and Robertson, they bump forward, leaving only Van Dijk, the centre back, and then maybe just 2 of them, because most times the 3 guys in the middle are also trying to win the ball high up and start the attack from there.
Yeah.
They don't even pass the ball back. So what did Mourinho do? Mourinho now puts in Son and Moura, mobile, fast guys. Because if he had played Akin is more stationary compared to these 2.
Yes.
It was giving them issues now, because in the first half, Gomez already gotten a card. You understand?
Yeah, that was true.
For me, Mourinho got his tactics right, but he didn't win the match, or he didn't draw, because we saw some misses. Lo Celso, some other guys missed goals. But I know in my mind that Klopp would know that was a close one. He knew that was a close one, because
that was a fantastic goal by Firmino. We just have to,
and that's brilliant.
It was superb. It was superb.
The turn,
he made
the turn, and and he anticipated. Jeez, just keep talking about Liverpool. When that pass, the time between the pass, him knowing that the pass coming to him and him getting the pass, everything was just too fast. And probably I just made up his mind that this is how I was going to turn. And that turn was just the best.
It was just in split seconds. Like in a split seconds. Yeah.
Gave him the time to hit it into the net. So, and that's what I was saying before now. As champions, you just get your one goal and you make sure you don't lose the match. You make sure you don't lose the points. And that was what Liverpool did. Unfortunately for Mourinho, he lost the match. For me, that match was a tactical battle, and Mourinho, that match wasn't a pushover. Because I'm thinking if Mourinho had played the normal traditional way, he would have lost by a larger margin.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing about Mourinho. He's still trying to get used to the team. He's trying to get used to the players. By next season, probably he would get in some players, take out some players, and then would now be able to judge Mourinho. Picking up a guy from the academic guy, not played a match in his life, and then giving him. And that's the thing about Mourinho. Mourinho makes you his sworn ally. You can't tell me that tomorrow now, that guy now, Tanganga guy now, someone talks about Mourinho where he is and he will just be negative. Or that's what Mourinho does. Mourinho he believes in his player. He makes big bets on players.
And Mourinho gave him his first Premier League debut.
Yeah. So, and some guys, some pundits were saying probably, trying to just, make it to make it less interesting and say, okay, maybe Mourinho already knows that Liverpool is going to beat him, so just put Tanganga there, and then if they lose the match, people will just.
But the guy gave a good performance.
He gave a good performance. He was always hassling Mane. He kept hassling Mane a lot in that match, and I think that was what Mourinho told him to do.
So moving on, interesting starts for Liverpool. They got the 3 points, and that has given them 104 points across their last 38 Premier League matches. I see Arsenal's fans' hearts pounding already. This is a record total by any team across a 38-match spell in the competition history, overtaking 102-point stretches by Manchester City that ended in 2018. And for Chelsea,
57 points.
Yeah.
57 what? I'm trying to remember. I think I saw that stat.
But the thing is, that win for Liverpool opened up another record. And with the way they are going, surprising to see Arsenal fans wanting their rival Tottenham to defeat Liverpool over the weekend.
No, that's football beef now. That's normal football.
Because
beef.
they wanted that Liverpool's unbeaten run to just come to an end. Now it's 38. Arsenal had the 49 unbeaten, so we're seeing 11 more matches for Liverpool to catch up with Arsenal. Now, the interesting thing about Arsenal's record was the 2003-2004, they went 38 matches the entire season. Without losing a match. They took it to the next season, played 11 matches until they met Manchester United, the Wayne Rooney goal. Like I keep saying, had it been VAR was in existence, then Rooney's goal wouldn't have stood, but that's by the way. Okay. Now, the interesting thing here is Arsenal fans, they want Liverpool to lose by all means. They don't want them to equal the record. But for me, it's not a big deal, even if Liverpool goes the entire season without losing a match or losing a match and winning the league, because it's more like winning the title. Chelsea has won the title, Manchester City has won the title, Arsenal had won the title, Manchester United had won the title, Leicester City had won the title. So what's the big deal if another team goes unbeaten, winning the title? It doesn't take the record off the Invincibles in 2003. What's your take on that?
Yeah, all these technicalities. They tire me sometimes though, because man, I don't know, but I mean, I'm just looking forward to what happens at the end of this season. Liverpool, shutting us all up and telling us that, guys, we can do it. We've trolled them for years, and they'll just come and just win it in the most dramatic way.
30 years ago was, because ever since the Barclays Premier League was initiated,
they have not won it.
They've not won it. So, like I said, bigger tests to come. They play Manchester United. They play Manchester United next.
If they win it without losing a match, fine. If they don't win it, but I think they for them keeping this run is because they don't want to hear a story that Man City came and something just happened. It's not like I don't think they are looking at holding a record of being unbeaten. You understand? Because they know what happened last season. So they just want to. For me, I think they just want to keep Man City as far away as possible. And fine, if they finish the season without a loss, or with a loss at all, or with just this draw with Manchester United till the end of the season, man, they'll be more happy that they've won the title. Then maybe in the coming years, which is what Arsenal fans will not want to hear, is that they will now start saying, we have the unbeaten run. Next match against Man U, I think Arsenal is playing. The Arsenal is playing
Sheffield United.
Who is Chelsea playing?
Chelsea will be playing.
There's another tough match.
Newcastle United.
Okay, can you just roll out the?
Yeah, we'll get to the fixtures for next week. But let's just round up with this Liverpool thing, because it's surprising to see that Arsenal were not the first invincibles. Preston North End too were invincibles in 1988. Stroke 1989, because all of us we didn't live to see that, so
it was our business.
But I guess it wasn't as competitive compared to
now
Arsenal when they could go 38 matches unbeaten. For me, Liverpool, the key to winning the league is with them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say tests to come, or just hurdle to scale, because they still have to play Man City at the Etihad?
Well, there are hurdles to scale now because they've not started having their own injury issues.
Yeah, so they still have.
It's not widespread, so they still have. It's not over until it's over, because we don't know.
They play.
Salah or Mane can pick an injury, and then everything just come crashing. So, what the momentum they've built will probably hold them for 2 or 3 matches, but then they can't just.
So they play Manchester. They play Manchester. Yeah, they play Manchester United next. They still have to go to Etihad, Emirates to play Arsenal. Will Arteta make it difficult? Will Arteta win it? We don't know yet. But for now, let's just big Liverpool up. Let's just give them the respect for the new record that was set: 104 points across their last 38 Premier League. 33. They won 33. They've drawn 5 and they've lost 0. It's with 16 more matches to go. We will wait patiently to see
what happens.
So that has been the game week 22 preview for the Barclays Premier League. So it's that time where we get our predictions for next week, game week 23. It's a pity Udoka is not with us today, but prediction will still have to go on. He could just do his prediction outside the program, and so when we meet for the next week review on the podcast, we'll reel everything out. So we just look at the top 6 like we normally do. Watford against Tottenham. So Tottenham travels to the Hornets. Arsenal against Sheffield United. Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium against Crystal Palace. And
Leicester, Burnley.
Newcastle United versus Chelsea.
Burnley
versus Leicester City.
Leicester.
And Liverpool versus Manchester United at the top end. So we just... You want to go first, or you allow me to go first? Because I've not got my predictions right from day one. I hope.
So you want to go first to break the jinx?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Watford versus Tottenham Hotspur. I see them sharing the spoils because this new manager bounce the effect is still on with Watford, and they've become difficult to beat at the Hornets. So I see them winning or sharing the spoils with Tottenham Hotspur. And Arsenal Sheffield United, it's going to be a very difficult game. Compact Sheffield United, they play compact football, efficient football. Arsenal, their previous games, they come in first 45 minutes, shambolic performance, come out blazing in the next 45 minutes. It's been topsy-turvy for them, but they've not lost. I see them winning. It's going to be difficult. I see them winning. Arsenal winning Sheffield United. And Manchester City, Crystal Palace. Manchester City would not want what happened last season to happen again. Crystal Palace coming to the Etihad Stadium winning. So I see them dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's to ensure they pick these 3 points, because the fight and the race towards catching up with Liverpool is there. So Manchester City winning Crystal Palace. And Newcastle United versus Chelsea. Newcastle winning Chelsea, and Newcastle United Chelsea going to end in a draw. It's either a Newcastle United win or the match will end in a draw. And Burnley Leicester City.
But you have to pick one.
No, I'll stay that way, because I remember I remember 2 weeks ago. I remember 2 weeks ago you made a prediction. Yeah. I can't remember the match. You said either a draw or win.
Oh.
So we gave you the point. So I'm going to say that way. Burnley, Leicester City.
Yeah, I won't VR is working.
Leicester City. I say Leicester City winning. Burnley, they've not been in a good shape, been in a good form. Leicester City will take that 3 points. Liverpool, Manchester United. I'm still sticking to Manchester United winning Liverpool.
Okay.
Manchester United. I'd rather support the Manchester United than support the Tottenham. So Manchester United to do the trick.
To do work.
Yeah.
For me, that's all right.
Yeah.
For me,
Watford, Tottenham.
Leicester beating Burnley.
Okay.
Tottenham winning Watford.
Okay.
Arsenal, Sheffield. Arsenal will win Sheffield.
Okay.
Man City will win Crystal Palace.
Okay.
Liverpool, Man U. Either a draw or a win for Liverpool. I don't think Man U. I don't know. But this is the last time Man U played at Anfield. I think that was when Mourinho was sacked. With all our spoilers and all that. So I think Liverpool will win that match. Either Liverpool wins or ends in a draw. Arsenal, Sheffield. I don't know how Arsenal is going to break Sheffield's organization and how they play, but I don't know, probably from this match. But then Aubameyang is not playing. That's very tricky. That's very, very tricky. But I'll still want to give it to Arsenal in the sense that Arteta is getting better. The only thing is, will Lacazette really show up on the day of the match? Man City, Crystal Palace. Yeah, Man City will win Crystal Palace. So those are my predictions.
Great. So that brings us to the end of this week's Footy Week podcast. It's been nice having this game week review with Chibuzo, my co-host. Like I stated before, Footy Week, we are on our social media. You could check us on our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and we're also on YouTube. On Instagram, our handle is @FootyWheat. On Twitter, our handle is @Footy_Wheat. And also on YouTube, search Footy Wheat Analysis. Please don't forget to click on the subscribe button to subscribe to get latest information and latest content coming from our Footy Week podcasters. It's been nice having you guys around. So we'll round up by doing the normal thing. My co-host Chibuzo stating the social media platform so you guys can follow him, and cheer him up on there, and we end the show.
Handle is CHAIBIZI.
Okay, so you can also follow me on Twitter @Ehis, HEYHWES. It's not that complicated. So stay blessed. Have a nice week. It's good having you go around. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.